Hey, what's up? Welcome to Kingz in Conversation. I am Enrique.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Mocha.
And this is just a setting of us having conversations and want you guys to join in and tune in and conversate with us.
Yes. Yes. And we've been having some
Conversate is what you say.
Converse.
I say conversate though.
It's not a word, but
It's not a word.
But we say that in Ohio.
Yeah,
we
people
say conversate.
Converse with us.
Just like we say pop.
Yeah, we call
say
soda
drink.
pop. We call it pop a cold drink.
I say drink. Bring me a drink.
So we appreciate you all joining us, and we hope that you enjoyed our conversation today. So let's kick off.
I know you're going to let me eat this banana.
Not the way you just put that banana in your mouth. Did you see that?
No, I didn't, but I want to see it.
Do it again.
I do want to see
Do it
it.
again.
All I did was bit the banana.
But let me see how you did it, though.
Okay.
Why you gotta peel it all
Oh,
the way down?
shit.
Why you gotta pull down the skin?
I got to demonstrate.
Go ahead.
You pulling back the skin. It's okay. You gay.
Let me get rid of this banana. Let's just get rid of it. Because y'all with the shit.
No, you could have just kept
Y'all are with the shit.
You should have went on and ate your banana.
He did. You missed it.
I did miss it, but thank God we caught it.
You're so
Okay, so we're going to kick the show off. Our producers are rolling. Okay, so we are going to kick the show off talking about the crazy Milwaukee woman that decided to spit
The lowest form of disrespect.
Let me tell you something.
on one of the black protesters.
They would have been protesting for my black ass had that been me.
I promise you.
Yeah,
When
I would have been a
tell you,
hashtag.
I would have, and I don't believe in hitting women, but
Yeah.
I'll hit a trifling
Yeah,
in a minute. And when
Yeah.
I tell you I would have twirled her from here
down.
to there,
And you know what? It was amazing because I'm grateful for the maturity of those who want to keep a peaceful protest. Because what they did, they tried to surround her because she was getting ready to get her kicked.
Yeah.
And they tried to surround her and they wanted to keep the main thing. And for her, and let me say this. The black dude did run up on her and say, "I'm black, now what?" or whatever, something like that. But I don't care. At the end of the day, if you're trying to stop a protest, first of all, you're already crazy for doing that. And then number two, to go into spit, you didn't hit, you wasn't moving in fear, you was just moving in disgust.
Not to mention it's COVID.
Exactly. And then you spit on it, there would not have been a barrier big enough that would have stopped me
That's
from
right.
getting to you. And
But
that's just
I think that they built the barrier because they knew that if he touched her,
right.
it
What-
was going to turn into a big.
no, it would the message would have been lost and it would have become something else.
I agree.
Okay.
I
So,
agree.
I think
But it
that-
would have turned into a big mess.
To a
Yeah,
big
yeah,
ass mess. They all would have jumped in and killed
they
that
were
woman.
going to definitely.
They were
whoop
all
her.
jumped in and beat that.
It would have
Yeah.
messed up the cause because then it would have would have turned into a whole nother
I agree.
situation.
I agree.
Now, what about the white protester who walked up on the black protester and
With the machete.
No. I can't remember the city and ripped the sign.
Yes, I did see
I
that.
didn't
I
see
did
that.
see that.
And the cop grabbed her and told her she was wrong.
Yeah.
And I do applaud that effort because we have the right. We
Exactly.
have the right. It's cold in here. Yeah. You see me shaking?
Well, the only reason why it's cold is because we have a whole lot of lights going on.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
But we can definitely adjust that. But I just thought that was just so ironic that we still have those type of things going on. But I'm grateful that all of this mess is coming to the surface. I'm grateful that we're having conversations that deal with the drama and that we're talking like this in this type of setting and other settings about what's really happening.
Yeah, 'cause more of these conversations need to be had.
These are the conversations that have to take place in order for us to bring change.
More of these conversations need to be had and more strategies need
I
to be put
agree.
into place.
I agree.
Don't just talk about it.
Right.
Be about
We
it.
have to do something about it. So then I want to talk about Iyanna Dior. Iyanna Dior was the trans woman in Minneapolis who was attacked. And I use the word attack because
She
that's
was
what we
attacked.
saw by over 30 individuals, not just men,
Men and women.
but 30 individuals who attacked her at that time. What do y'all think actually happened? Because there's always two sides to every story. So what? Well, there's three sides. You right. What do you think happened? What do you think happened with that?
No comment.
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
just said no comment.
Why don't you have a comment about
Oh, he
that?
has a comment.
I don't have a comment about it because, for one, we weren't there. So we
Right.
can't particularly figure out the severity of the situation.
Okay.
I will say this: people need to start being accountable for their part
Exactly.
in situations. People need to start taking accountability for their actions.
I agree.
And after looking at her live,
Mm-hmm.
and she did, admit to saying to one of the boys, "What the are you
Right.
approaching me for? You have nothing to do with this."
Right.
And then she said that she spit on the
Mhm.
girl and other people. She don't know how many.
Mm-hmm.
When people started saying that 30 people was shouldn't have jumped on her, I do feel that was excessive.
That
because
was excessive.
I'm not with violence at all. Like
Right.
I'm not that person, and I
Right.
definitely hate for people to be jumped.
Right.
But you can't tell a person how to react
Once you do something.
once you do something
I
like
agree.
that. And again, just like we just spoke about the lady, if she spit on them, and right now we're going through COVID, and you
Right.
spit, so now you infuriated and anger
But-
in a crowd of people.
But why did she spit? See, that's the question. Why did Iyanna feel like she had to spit on these people?
Hold on, because listen to what you just said. It wasn't okay for the white woman to spit on
Right.
the black guy.
Right.
But now you're about to
But
rationalize.
no. But even when we talked about her, I did say, did she do it out of fear? I feel like she did it out of disgust because he ran up on her. So it did the same thing happen to Iyanna. Well, the white woman got protected. What happened to Iyanna? Exactly. She was not protected. No one came to her rescue. And at the end of the day, when I watched her live, I will say this. I believe in my heart she contributed to the drama. But I felt like for it to get that far and for that many people to be punching her in the face, which we saw on video. Now that we can't deny.
Right.
For her to get beat up and punched and still they begging her, get her out the store, bring her out here. I'm going to beat that. I'm going to all of that.
But
See, I hate.
Go ahead.
What I hate is that we're living in a world now where trans are being killed for nothing,
Mm-hmm.
and then we're living in a world where trans are provoking the mess.
I agree.
I get pissed off when the trans are provoking it,
Right.
Because they're making it harder for those that are not provoking it,
Right.
Because the first question that people always ask when a trans get killed is, "What did
They
she
do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the reason why it's like that is because you have so many trans people out there who are provoking the mess. They're doing whatever. I'm not here to
Being
judge
the most.
anyone. I love
Being the
transgender
most.
people.
Right.
I have transgender people in my family,
Right.
in my circle. I
Right.
have kids
Right.
who are transgender.
Right.
So, and I love them dearly. And what I always tell them is
Right.
respect yourself
Mhm.
and respect the people around you.
Right.
Be honest with the people you are dating.
Right.
Don't go starting no. You know you on these hormones. You know that your emotions are all over the place.
Right.
Go somewhere and be quiet. Go
Right.
somewhere and sit down somewhere. And that's not just for them. That's for all of us. Period.
Right. I agree.
Everyone. Period. Should know. Pick and choose your battles.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us, when we get into these situations where we're being beat up or we're being killed, you have to ask. It's sad that you have a group of people that are the provokers, and then you have a group of people who are just victims.
Right. That's true.
So I said all of that to say, when transgender people are doing that, they're
Mm-hmm.
making it harder for their brothers and sisters, who are actually being, victimized.
Right. Did
Well-
y'all see her live? Go ahead. I was going to say her live with the other trans woman, but go ahead.
I did see the live, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the situations arise because of lack of maturity.
I agree.
A lot of the problems arise because, like, she's 20.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Doing
Like-
what 20-year-olds
20-year-olds
because
do.
that's a
Right.
normal 20-year-old
Yeah.
attitude.
Yeah.
Y'all know I have a
And-
19-year-old. So.
and when I listened to her story,
Hey, man.
and she said that she tried to do a U-turn and she ended up taking out 3 cars.
that bothered me there.
She took out 3 cars, which meant that for one, she probably couldn't drive.
Right.
Didn't know how to drive. So now you messed up 4 cars
Right.
because the 3 that you hit
And
your
yours,
friend's,
right.
and your friend's car. My husband is a car freak.
Okay.
Like, we have 5 cars, and he look at the cars every day for scratches and things like that. Seriously. So you don't know how a person is going to react if you hit their car.
Right.
She
right.
did say in the live that she hit the cars and she was trying to leave.
Without being accountable.
I
Is
don't want
that
to
what
I don't
she
want to put
did?
words in her mouth, You have to go look for the last few years. But she said she was trying to leave because she knew that there was going to be a problem because she started to see people coming out of the house, and she kept saying to her friend, "Girl, let's just go.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right. She did say that because she got scared. Right.
But I think my thing is, I know that a lot of times gays in themselves can be extra.
Right. Right.
And I really wish that she could recollect the situation because she said that she blacked out and so she can't remember some things. To say in essence what she really said and what she really did.
Right.
But again, you're in that moment, so you're not going to remember.
I agree.
And everything in me, having been in those type of situations, tells me that she may have said a little more
than what she
than
was
what she's
recollecting.
alluding to tell us that she said.
Right.
And that's what angered the crowd. Now, so many people, and again, I know we're going to get this in the comments, and I'm going to probably end up being the bad guy, but I have to speak what I know because I've lived this life. So you can't tell me what I know because I've been there. So many people are saying they attacked her because she was a trans. And she said, and again, listen, and I looked at her video like 5 times. I'm in the projects. The guy approaches me and says, "Little faggot, you're going to pay for this car." If she's in the projects and he knows that she's a faggot or he's calling her a faggot, he knew that prior to that accident.
Right.
But the accident happening, it sparked something.
Right.
So when everybody's saying that it's a hate crime, I can't necessarily say it's a hate crime. I just think that something happened that made it become an infuriating situation. Because he had to know prior to that she was a trans or whatever he perceived her to be, and he never touched her, or the people in the projects never touched her.
So is it safe to assume that it wasn't because of who she was? It was because of what happened and what she did.
That's my
and the anger that came.
You know what? At the end of the day, I'm still going to say that it was a hate crime for the simple fact it does not take over 10 people. I don't care. Some people say, well, it wasn't 30.
But again,
it doesn't take 10 people to jump on one person.
On who she touched when she did what she did.
Well, I agree with you on that part.
She spit on a crowd, and she said, "I know I spit on her, the girl who sucker punched her,
right?
And I don't know how many other people."
But think about this: it doesn't take 10 people to beat one. I'm sorry.
I don't think that they were looking to beat her.
Right.
I think it was just, if I'm angry, I don't care if it's 20 of y'all hitting her. I'm going to get my licks in because I'm now mad.
You're right. However, the way me and my clique roll,
if one person
hit me, all of them come.
See, the way I roll with my friends, and if you were my friends and you get into a fight, I'm not jumping in until someone else jumps in. So as long as y'all fighting, okay, do your thing, do your whatever it is. Oh, I don't fight either.
I don't fight.
But I'm just saying, like, if that happened,
I don't fight, but I will.
If that happened, I would. If someone else jumped in on my friend, I'm going to jump in. But other than that, I'm gonna let those two fight, and then when it gets too much, I'm gonna break it up. So at the end of the day, I still feel that because of who she is, that was a big factor. Because people were still calling her faggot. People were still saying, you know.
So maybe it was a combination of hate.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And then people just being upset.
Let me help y'all out. And again, dumb it down.
For me.
Shut up. So, you know when, not even being trans, just being human. Mm-hmm. You know when you're friends with someone or you're cool with someone, everything is hunky-dory.
Right.
As soon as you fall out with them, it's, oh, you black mother.
Yeah.
Oh, you... They go into the negative because these are things they've been harboring.
Right. Because they've been wanting to say.
Exactly. So I think in her case, I'm not going to say it was a hate crime. These are things that they were harboring, and these are things that they knew would get to her because for some reason people think calling you a faggot or calling you, it hurts you.
I agree.
So when they started saying it, it was just because they were now mad. So they were saying the things that they had been wanting to say. But I wouldn't look at it as a hate crime. I really think that it's because when she
was just doing the most.
I'm not gonna say she was doing the most. I wasn't there. I'm just saying when she did what she did, like hitting 3 cars,
right,
and then spitting. It antagonized the situation.
But did she spit before she got hit, or did she spit after she got hit?
It was I think she said that they had already jumped her prior to getting.
That
to
was the problem. I'd be spitting too.
She had already gotten into a fight. No, because once I'm behind that counter, and these people that work here are trying to help you. Y'all, please.
Well, okay, I didn't see that.
Please call.
Did y'all see the people helping her?
They were trying to help her, but she continued.
I didn't see that. I saw the people behind the counter telling her to get the fuck out the store. Did we see two different videos?
Because if they were telling her to get out the store, she would have never made behind the counter.
But no, I think she went behind the counter, and the guy behind the counter was pushing her away.
She went behind the counter, and the guy was kind of like pushing her away. She went behind the counter running from them. And the cashier was like,
exactly,
get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Because, exactly. Not because he was horrible, but because she had brought all the commotion there. He probably just wanted to clear his floor.
I'll give you that.
30, okay, I don't even want to say 30. 10 people to beat one girl. I'm sorry, that's too much. It was too big, and it had to be way more than just you hitting some cars and spitting at someone after they already jumped you. This was a hate crime. And I will say this, Iyanna, because I know you're probably going to see this. You were doing too much running your mouth when you got behind that counter. Mm-hmm. You done already got your ass beat. You should have shut up. Had them call the police and been quiet. But what she was doing, she was being, I'm tough. Y'all still didn't beat me. Y'all still didn't. Girl, that is not the time to be trying to be New York. That is the time to save your life. So I do feel like she contributed a great deal to this. But for 10 plus people to beat her ass, it had to be a hate crime.
I can't call it a hate crime.
I said what I said. I'm sticking with it.
Well, you know what? I'm on the fence.
But get off the fence.
Well, no, it's okay to be on the fence.
I'm on the fence.
My thing is, if I push you, as I told y'all before, if I push you, you can't tell me how to react to that push.
But you hit my car. And then you come out and say, faggot, you're going to pay for that car. Or if I hit your car, you say, faggot, you're going to pay for that car. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't have the money, so can we call the police to do this? Because this is my friend's car. Whatever. And then you get angry, and then I get jumped. That's an issue.
So let me ask this. Where was her cell phone to call the police? And I'm not saying that.
Ooh, that is good.
Right, and I'm not.
Where was her cell phone?
I'm honestly not, because I don't want.
But she was already scared, though.
I get that.
I'm glad you're saying
scared,
this.
Then get the phone.
I'm so glad that you're the one bringing up these points, because this is a life that you have lived. So there's a level of sensitivity that you just like I can call you a nigga, but no white person better not call you a nigga. You get what I'm saying? I've never been trans, but I can look. To me, you're right. She could have brought her own. She could have did her own cell phone. But again, black people, we don't call the police. You get what I'm saying? We don't call. And then why would you call the police in Minneapolis after they just got finished killing George Floyd?
But she said on the video, she told them to call the police and file a police report. Remember?
Right.
So if you're asking them to call, then you go ahead and call, especially if you're feeling threatened now. So I definitely don't want to place the blame on anybody, because it's a horrific situation.
Oh, there is blame to be placed.
I really hate that it happened, especially during the Black Lives Movement, because it further separated and further caused the division.
They already don't think that black trans have a right to be fighting.
Oh, they don't think that they matter. Right. They don't believe that.
It was already during a protest.
Right.
Emotions were already high.
Right.
She done hit 3 motherfucking cars.
Right.
She done spit it all over these people.
After she got jumped.
You know what I'm saying?
I want to make sure I keep putting that out there.
So, of course, all of this is going on at one time, and shit happens when you're in the heat of it. When you're in the thick of it.
Okay. Can I say this?
Do I think it's a hate crime? Yes. However, we weren't there. We don't know what was provoked. We don't know what was said. We don't know any of these things.
Okay, I agree with all that.
It's very easy to call it a hate crime because she is trans.
Okay.
But had she been let's just change.
A cisgender woman.
Yes.
And that's what the argument has been.
Would it have been considered as hate then, or what they had said, she had to have done something, or what happened? Would the situation have been different? With the dynamic have been different?
This is the thing, because people have said, had she been a cisgender woman, that amount of people would not have jumped her. And I can't say that I completely agree with that, because it depends on how that cisgender woman handled herself. Because there are men out here who will still hit women. And you have to remember.
And there are women, and there were women fighting her too.
Right. Yeah. But you have to remember, we've seen videos where guys have been provoked by women, and they try to walk up, and the woman just started going.
And then they
right. So it's so iffy, and it's so touchy, and it's so unfortunate.
Okay.
But it's something that we.
Let me ask you this: when a transgender woman finds herself in a dangerous situation, she already knows that the reaction that she's going to get. Now, let's be honest, y'all. Let's be honest. is going to be way worse than a cisgender woman.
But let me tell you how a transgender woman thinks because of my daughter who's trans. She don't feel like she should have to live a certain way in fear of just because she is who she is. She feels like I should be accepted and treated like a woman because I live as a woman.
But she also has you as a support system.
Respected as a woman.
No,
you know what I'm saying? She doesn't think that way when she goes into a store. Oh, if I get into it with these two people, let me kind of stand because I already know I'm trans and they may. No, she don't be thinking like she be thinking like I am who I am. I'm proud of who I am, and you gonna respect me. That's how most transgender people feel, and that's how they think.
I've never met a transgender woman who had that much confidence. Most of the ones that I've met, most of the ones who I've met have always had that. They are
proud and they are bold. And
well, I'm talking about they may be proud of who they are, but when it comes to dangerous situations, they're like, okay, I'm not going to be treated the same. I'm going to be looked at as evil. So, I'm going like that. To me, was the bigger issue. And that's why I feel like
why you think they jumped on her?
I just think
because she was running her mouth.
Right?
She defended herself. She refused to let them.
But what you just said is true. She defended herself. She defended herself when he came up to the car and said, "Faggot, you gonna pay for the car?" That was before the fight.
First of all, he called her a faggot. Iyanna thinks she's a woman. You know what I'm saying?
And so that to the trans community, that's an insult.
That's an insult.
That is very
right
true.
There.
Now that I learned that in
that's an insult right there.
Iyanna
say, "No, I'm not a faggot. I'm a woman."
Yeah,
you know.
Okay. So well, anyway, we know that situation is still going on. People have been donating to her. I'm the type of individual that I like to get all sides of the story before I just kind of start throwing go all the way in. But I do want Iyanna to know that we do stand with you. At the end of the day, you are a trans woman, and we support you in your trans experience.
Absolutely.
You know, but you going out acting bad, getting tough, I can't always back that up. But what I can say is that I know people do things out of fear, just like the white woman. I believe when she probably got scared of all the black people. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
All right, so then let's talk about Billy Porter.
Oh, yeah.
Billy Porter decided during all of this that he was going to call out black people.
I'm glad he did.
For acting just like white people.
White supremacists is what he said.
White supremacy and white people do towards black people. How straight black people act towards the black LGBT people. How do y'all feel about that?
I agree.
Well, first and foremost, I don't know if y'all know that I just absolutely love Billy Porter.
Okay.
Pageantry, I just did. My last talent was Billy Porter.
Oh, right.
And I followed him long before that. A lot of people don't rally with him because he's married to a white man.
Exactly.
Just like they don't rally with RuPaul because he's married to a white man.
Right.
But when he told his story about going to the ranch and getting back in the car for fear of his life, I felt it.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes we're so caught up in our small circle of what we have going on. Like he was, caught up in the circle of just him being married to the man, that he forgot the outside world. So once he was reintroduced to the outside world and he feared for his life, it brought him back to that point of reality.
Right.
And I don't think he said anything wrong. I love his video. I shared his video. I wanted people to watch it because I think that it's, again, another conversation.
Right, you sent it to us, right.
That needs to be had, and that people need to understand that there are some interracial relationships that are happening.
Right.
And
that are healthy.
They have to, but people have to look at it during these times from both parts of the spectrum.
Right.
How the white counterpart or the other race counterpart has to deal with Black Lives Matter if they're into a interracial relationship with a black person.
Right.
And vice versa. And I applaud him. I applaud him for stepping up and speaking and not even holding back because he was. Baby, those
he let him have it. He let him have it. But you know what? I was proud at that moment because, one, I feel like God has given him a great platform to be able to speak to the masses, to say what a lot of us are feeling, what a lot of us are thinking, and scared to say many times, or don't have the platform. Like, we can say it, but only 5 people are listening. You know what I mean? So to have him be able to say these things, I think it is so true. And again, the only reason why the LGBTQ plus community is not accepted is because we as black people have been given a white Jesus and a faith that does not come from us. Y'all get what I'm saying? Like, we have to go back to the root cause. My mama loves me, but does my mama think I'm wrong for being pansexual? Well, she's a little bit more happy I'm pansexual than me saying I'm gay, but semantics. That's it. At the end of the day, that's why she believes it. Because that Bible says a man should not lie with a man as with a woman. We don't know why the Bible said it. Well, I do. She don't know why the Bible said it. She don't know what the Bible was talking about at that time. She don't know what was the reasoning behind it, the circumstances, the psyche of the writer, the emotions of the writer. She don't know all of that. All she knows is that God said. Mm-hmm. Y'all get what I'm saying? So we're still going back to an issue that is not even our issue. So in our black community, we still are fighting with each other over something that was given to us that didn't even belong to us. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I love Billy Porter for standing up, saying these things. I love Pose. I thought Pose was good, and it is good because it talks about houses. It talks about family, and how you have to make your own family. There's just so many great and powerful things about what Billy Porter said that I thought was, just pretty amazing. So
it's the truth.
Well, the underline of everything, of any conversation that we have, that we've had, is being real.
Yeah.
A lot of people aren't real
right.
with themselves. A lot of people aren't authentic with themselves.
Right.
You cannot, or they do not, tell their entire truth. Right. They do not entirely walk in their truth.
Right.
And I think that if people start to do that and not try to make excuses for their truth, just it's your truth. Own it. It's your
Period.
truth.
Right.
It is your truth. If we start to do that, more acceptance would starts to come about.
I agree.
The problem that America faces is that everyone wants to be that.
Right.
No one wants to see anyone get to that. They want to be that. And I think that if we were truly making America great again, mm-hmm. if unity came into play, because as we talked about with slavery, think about when guys and girls were in slavery, or men and women were mm-hmm. in slavery, there was no separation. We had to do what Master said.
Yeah.
If the mentality of blacks was that still, and stop feeling that we're greater than, and mm-hmm. someone is lesser than, we could get to a common ground to growing and building.
That is so good.
But the problem is everyone wants to be on top, because we've all been those crabs that we all struggling to get.
And we're
to the
so
top.
afraid of getting
mm-hmm.
Being back on the bottom again,
mm-hmm.
that if I have to throw you under the bus to do that. That's why I think this show is so great, because it gives us an opportunity to be able to express exactly what we're feeling. One of the things I know about all three of us, we're all very authentic people. What you see is what you get. Now, I've not always been that way, y'all know. But now that I'm in that place of being authentic, I know the power and the favor that comes with just living your truth. And we have so many people who are afraid to do that because of the fear of rejection. Whether you are an Iyanna Dior, or whether you are a George Floyd, or there's so many people who are afraid of just telling their truth. But I believe that one of the reasons why the universe has put us all on punishment, because that's what we've been on, mm-hmm. And so to speak, and not a punishment in a bad sense, but just to think, gave us all the time out, it's so that we could start looking at what is real, what is necessary, because a lot of things that we thought we had to have, mm-hmm. we realize we don't have to have them. This quarantine has made me thankful for real people in my life. Mm-hmm. Folks who really have my back, people who are really in my corner. Y'all get what I'm saying? It made me more grateful for what really matters. Yeah. Love, understanding, communication, having having someone have your back and like knowing what family really is all about. I will say this. My family has been divided for years. Okay? I'm talking about church folks, preachers, anointed folks, singers, ministers, missionaries, prophets. Divided, right? But God gave my mom a vision to do a prayer call. And she does it every day, Monday through Friday at about 12:15 every day. That prayer call has because we had no place to go. No one could be going shopping. No one was at work. That prayer call has unified our family. People who have not talked to folks in years. I had a cousin who used to be my favorite cousin, and me and her fell out for whatever the reason, I don't know. After not talking, 10, 15 years, she called me, apologized to me, made things right with me. Like, that's what I'm saying. So this time out has really caused us to see what really matters. And then with the death of George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd, the wine is getting to me. It really showed us now we've been in timeout. It's time to take action.
Yeah.
And I think this show gives us an opportunity to do our part, to speak out, to say what we feel, to say what we believe. We may not always agree, but it's about what we feel. Get it out. Let's talk about it. Because again, just like you brought up, Iyanna Dior spit on someone. That white lady spit on someone. Nobody has any right spitting on anybody.
That's so disrespectful.
But at the end of the day, we judge it based on color, who did it, and what. And sometimes we don't even know the circumstances. But I'm glad you called me out on that, because that made me be like, okay, yeah, maybe she did it out of fear too.
That's why people have to have healthy
conversations. Yeah. Well, listen, everybody. We hope that you have enjoyed these conversations that we've been having. Please make sure that you comment below. Tell us what you think about the things. If you don't agree with us, okay.
Be respectful.
That's all we ask.
Because I'm not a disrespectful person. I'm willing to listen to anything you
and we say. Will delete your if you're going to be disrespectful. But this is about positive communication. It's okay to say, Mike, I'm sorry, you were dead ass wrong in that. The way you handled that was wrong. And I'll be like, you know what? Oh, okay, I kind of see where you're coming from.
When you bring it to me, I'm objectively
thinking. I need you just like, you need me or whatever. I want to make sure that we say this. Mocha, you are an author.
I am.
And we have not done our intros yet, but we'll talk about that maybe in upcoming episodes. But you are an author. How many books do you have?
I have 7 total.
7 books that you've written?
Yeah.
Wow, that is awesome. Okay.
And he has 7 books that I have not read.
Me neither. I have to read them.
No, I'm on the cover of 2 of them, so I've read them.
Oh, shit, really?
He is. Now, those 2 for sure I know he read.
Okay.
He read those.
All right. And then you, Enrique, you are a media personality, and you also are a business owner. And tell us a little bit about that.
About the business?
Yeah.
Well, I own a business.
Okay.
I have a restaurant.
Exactly. In Stone Mountain, Georgia, called Old School.
We'll talk about that on another episode.
But let me say this. They have the best shrimp.
Mojo. Yeah.
The best shrimp mojos I've ever had, ever. All right? And you all know me. I'm a life coach and I'm a counselor, and I just do what I do, and I'm an OnlyFans guy. All right? I'll be going after the bag. All right, so listen, make sure at all. Make sure. What'd you say?
Lunch on us.
Lunch on us, right. So.
Lunch on him.
On him.
Listen, we want to make sure that we let you know every week we're going to pick somebody to have lunch on us. All right. Y'all better send that money over so we know. I'm just playing. All we ask you to do is just go to our Instagram page. Make sure that you like our Instagram, follow us on Instagram, and then comment below and put your Cash App. And every week we're going to choose somebody so that we can send you to lunch.
Subscribe. Turn on that bell so you get notifications.
Exactly.
And you can see all the videos that we put up and we have.
Follow us on all social media. Make sure you comment, like, share, and subscribe. We appreciate you all. We'll see you all very soon.
All right.
Bye, everybody.